Hey there, everybody. Franklin Taggart here. It is time for the virtual coffee break. I've got my coffee. Grab your beverage and let's chat for just a moment. What's on the docket this morning is impostor syndrome. Now, this has been a real popular topic in every corner of social media world and entrepreneurial world and, artistic world, etc. for a long time. And it just seems to have gotten even more, talked about. And I've noticed it a lot more in the last couple of years than I have in a very long time. And there are a couple of things that I want people to think about with imposter syndrome. Now, for me, there are very few cases where a person is actually an imposter. I can think of a few where a person might be a con or they might be a fraud, legitimately and intentionally fraudulent. Well, at that point, the thing that's really funny is that those kind of people don't experience imposter complex or imposter syndrome. Those folks don't have a conscience to feel any kind of a tinge of difficulty around, being a fraud or about conning people. If you are feeling like an imposter, I think that there are some other things that we need to consider. The first one is that since everybody seems to be talking about it, it's a pretty widespread feeling. This sense of imposter is a pervasive feeling, it seems like, in a lot of humans. So we've got to talk about that. Why is it that so many people report feeling such a thing? And I have some theories about it, and I'll get into those in just a minute. But the second question that I think that we need to ask about it is imposter syndrome really what we're talking about here? I have a feeling that it's not. I have a feeling that what's happening is that there's just a real natural tendency that people have to psychologically protect themselves from painful relationship situations or painful interactions. And a lot of that comes from just a sense of, wanting to belong, needing to belong. We are social animals. We're created and made for that kind of, relating. And that's normal for us to have that. And when those relationships, when there's any risk to those at all, we do have some protections that kick into gear. So one of the things that I would say is that if you're feeling a sense of imposter, maybe one of the things that we need to look at is what's really on the line in terms of the relationship that you're worried about, or in terms of the reputation or opportunity, because all of those things are tied in here. All of those things matter. The other thing that I think is really important to think about is that a lot of people feel imposter syndrome when they're entering into something that's new for them. Now, one of the things that I always do when people come to me and say that they've been struggling with imposter syndrome is that I have them make a list. Make a list of everything that you've ever learned. Make a list of every experience that you've ever had. And then, after you've made that list, get as comprehensive and complete as you can. Like, go even into the mundane things, like try to remember back when you were learning how to dress yourself or tie your shoes. Now, that may be a stretch for your memory, but if you have ever watched a young child, try to do something for themselves the first time or the first 10 times, you might notice that there is a sense of frustration. There may be a sense of, anger at themselves for not being able to do it. All of those things are a part of the experience. So as an adult, even when we're trying new things, my theory is that imposter syndrome is a part of a larger cycle And that cycle is growing. That cycle is going into, a new realm of experience, a new realm of trying things, a new realm of evolving, a new realm of becoming. And it's just a part of the whole overall experience. It's not the whole thing. And the thing that I think I would encourage you to protect against is not the feeling. The feeling's going to happen. But it's about how you respond or react to the feeling. Are you going to let that feeling stop you from going forward with what it is that you know that you need to do? I think that that's the question at hand here. When you dig underneath it, I would bet that none of us have the idea of intentionally defrauding people, or the idea of intentionally, putting a con over on people. I don't think that's what's really going on here. So the real imposters in the room, they're not even going to listen to this video. But those of us who are going through the imposter syndrome as a way of, getting through that psychological protection layer of saying, I may fail, I may be embarrassed, I may actually screw up some relationships here, and it's legitimate for me to be concerned about that. So why don't I look at, what am I really afraid of? What's the risk that I feel here? What's the relationship that I value? What's the opportunity that I'm looking for that I don't want to screw up? And really look into that more so than the feeling of imposter. I don't feel like that when you look at it objectively, as much as possible, that you're going to find anything there worth hanging your hat on. I think you're going to find that you're just going through a sense of anxiety about entering into something new for yourself. That's it. So make your list. Make your list. Look at all of the things that you've learned in your lifetime. And at some point in each one of those things, there were probably some level of anxiety about doing it right, about making an impression, about what other people thought about what you were doing. It's normal. Don't worry about it. Now I'm going to have you make another list, and that is the list of things that you can legitimately say lend credibility to what it is you're about to do. What capabilities are you bringing to the table that you've developed and that you've worked on? What's the knowledge that you've gained that is going to be helpful to the group of people or to the people that you're about to share it with? Make that list now and focus on the things that are about what make you a credible person in the role that you're about to step into. And really focus on that list more than on the feeling of imposter. Sound like a plan? If after all of that you're still struggling, would you please get in touch with me? bit.ly/bestnextstepcall. That goes right to my schedule. It's a free 1-hour session. It's not even a discovery call. I don't believe in discovery calls. What I believe is that in that hour, we can help you get to the point where you're feeling more confident and more ready for whatever it is that you're about to jump into. So bit.ly/bestnextstepcall. Go ahead and schedule a call. Doesn't cost you anything. Let's go there, shall we? I'll be back again tomorrow with yet another coffee break. You are the right person for the thing that is ahead of you. And it's all going to be just fine, even if you screw up. So I'll be back again tomorrow with another coffee break. Have a good whatever it is where you are. And thank you, as always, for your time and your attention. And